Hello world, it's your girl Bambi here with another video. So today's video, I'm gonna just kind of piggyback off of my last video about um guys not really knowing what to do because I don't smoke weed anymore. So I'm just gonna go down my little journey of why I don't smoke weed anymore. I've been smoking for a really long time, on and off, since I was about 11 years old. Yeah, not that I'm proud of that, but it's the truth, right? So, why I'm deciding to quit now, I've had various reasons for quitting before, which were whether it had to be because I was pregnant. I have 4 kids. I didn't smoke through my pregnancy. Whether it had to be because I had a job that did random drug testing. Various reasons. But this time around, I'm doing it for myself. I'm going through this little spiritual journey that I've been on for about, I want to say 5 to 2 years. More recently, I would say the last year to 6 months, I've been really tapping into myself and what I want to do, what my purpose is here in this world. So I knew that I had to give up something that I loved, weed, for something that I really wasn't, to be honest, quite sure of. I just knew I had to do or have a sacrifice, and I had to sacrifice something that I love to do. So I decided that that was going to be weed. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I'm never going to smoke weed again. God knows. I don't know. I might pick it up again. But just for right now, I know it's not something that I want to do. I wanted the universe to kind of gift me with whatever that may be with me smoking, stopping with the weed. Anywho, so I stopped smoking so that I can get something in return. And a few of those reasons being, let's say the number one big thing is obviously the money. Like, I spent a lot of money on weed. Let me tell you my habits and what they used to be. I would go through an ounce a week, which is a lot for one person. Especially during this pandemic, it was almost like everything you did, you just had to smoke. Or at least for myself, it was. And now that weed is being legalized in a lot of states, and in my state is legalized, a lot of people just pick it up as like something fun to do, which it probably should be that, right? But I don't like when everyone's kind of like on the same bandwagon, and I kind of like to beat to my own drums. And so I was coming across a lot of people that said they were smokers, and they really weren't smokers. Like, if a 50 can last you all week, I don't consider you a real smoker. I consider you what I like to call a part-time smoker, which isn't bad. Number two was I didn't respect it. So much so that I wasn't getting high, hence the ounce a week. So I needed or would like to respect it again. For the weed smokers out there, I'm pretty sure you can attest to this. You get immune to it after a while. Like, you just, like, if you can smoke 10 to 12 blunts back to back and you're just like, okay, now I'm high, that's a problem. So I definitely needed to quit and cut back. And there is no cutting down when you're a weed smoker. I mean, you like to think you are, but it just didn't work. And so I was obviously spending a whole bunch of money on weed that I didn't need to be spending. And not just that, I think about a week or two after I quit smoking, not that I never realized this before, but for some reason, it kind of hit me that I was like, not only did I buy weed, but I bought Rollies too. And that was, I think, a lot to do with my addiction too, because I'm not a bong smoker or like raw, which is like a natural paper. I liked say cigarillos, Fontos, anything that kind of had that extra nicotine in it. And so I like the harshness. I like to feel it in the back of my throat, if you know what I mean. So, and I never really did like dab, and I really never liked the bong or anything like that, because that was like borderline crackhead for me. I know it's not. Trust me, I know it's not. I'm not saying I never did a bong, but I just, something about just lighting it and like smoking it out of a pipe just never sit right in my soul. So, and I've tried really good weed, like really good weed. As a matter of fact, my weed men used to like come to me and bring me their newest best batch just so I could try it, because they knew, like, if anything, I was all about the quality, not the quantity, you know. And I was gonna let them know, like, yeah, this is good or this is whack or whatever. So, okay, hold on, I don't want to lose myself. So let's go through like pros and cons of smoking weed. So the pros are obviously that it relaxes you, and what I loved is like when you watch a movie, especially like a funny movie or whatever type of movie, really didn't matter. You see different shit. Like you watch a movie like just sober, you know, you catch all good shit. But when you watch a movie high, like you see shit in the background, like you just pay extra attention to shit. So I do kind of miss that. I do miss the companionship. It's nothing like having a smoker and like both of y'all are smoking and you know you just start talking about the universe and the stars and all of these conspiracy, like those conversations could get deep and only like a smoker would understand that shit. Let's go a little bit into the cons. And a lot of people probably won't like to admit this, but it takes away your energy. Like, you're just so complacent with shit. You just be like, nah, it's not a big deal. I'm high. Like, so what? You know, you don't get up with the same enthusiasm. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that I smoked so much that I didn't respect it. So other cons would be, obviously, other than the money, it would be like the way my clothes smell. And the way my breath would smell, cotton mouth, that sucks. Yeah, you ever want to go down on a guy after you smoke a blunt? You better have some water next to you, because that's what the fuck you're going to have like, to help you with your fucking... Anywho, I digress. Anywho, so, let's see, where else can I go with this? So basically, I'm really doing this for myself. Like, not for anybody else. I'm not here to judge anybody. Like, I still chill with people who smoke. Like, you could literally smoke a blunt next to me. I actually don't mind. It helps me to know that I am getting better with the journey that I'm on. I'm not at the place where I can roll you a blunt. I'm not that strong yet. But I'm definitely in a place where I know that I can be around it and it's not going to influence me to be like, oh my God, I'm going to smoke. You know where I'm at right now? I'm in a place where sometimes I dream and I'm dreaming that I'm smoking and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I just smoked a blunt. So like, I think my like, what can I say? My other dimension and like this dimension is kind of coinciding together somehow. Don't mind me. But yeah. And just coming to the terms that I really am quitting smoking. So pros again are something that I like is that I feel a lot more energetic. I'm getting up and doing a lot more things than I was doing before. Cons was that like where weed used to be like something that would bring me peace or something that I just want to like hang out and kind of like watch a movie and kick back. I was kind of using it for everything. Like if I'm mad, I'll smoke. If I'm happy, I'll smoke. If like anything I was doing, I would have to smoke. I remember taking a whole girls trip and I had a whole fucking attack, because we couldn't find no weed. And I just left them. I left them inside of a bar or casino. I can't remember where. I was like, I can't. I gotta go outside. I gotta find somebody. I gotta find some weed. Like, that's bad. Like, I felt like I couldn't take trips because, like, you know, you don't know different weed mans in different area codes. I mean, you probably should, but, you know, I wasn't like that. I'm not that social. So, you know, we had took this girls trip and I was, what's the word I'm looking for? I was, fiending, for lack of a better word. I was fiending, like really, really bad. And it's just not good. Like, you should be able to take a trip without having to smoke weed or like, you know, having to need it that bad. Another con was like, if I was running low, and I'm pretty sure a lot of weed smokers will tell you this, like, I used to get anxiety. Like, I would flip out about the dumbest shit ever. Like, who the fuck put the milk in the refrigerator? Milk's supposed to be in the refrigerator. But like, I'm just, as an example, like, it was just stupid shit that I would argue about or be upset about. And it wasn't really that the milk was in the refrigerator. It's because I'm running low. Now, contrary to that, The minute I get my weed, I'm rolling up blunts like I'm about to smoke with 10 people. I'm by myself, but I'm rolling up blunts like I'm about to smoke with 10 people. Opposed to like when I'm running low and I'm just smoking this small little pinner, you know what I'm saying, and mixing it with some roaches and stems and shit. Like, yeah, oh yeah, it was that bad. I ain't even gonna front. Like, you know, just so that I could get high. And I wasn't really getting high. I was probably getting a fucking headache more than anything else. But I have come to the place and at my age and where I'm at in my journey and where I want to be at. You know, like I said, I'm not going to judge anybody for smoking. It's just not for me right now. The way people are acting with weed, it kind of turns me off. Like, you're not really a smoker. All of my friends, basically, that do smoke, and when I say that, I mean like my female friends, they can outsmoke any dude. So, like, yeah, that's bad. For like a guy who says he, you know, smokes weed and he really doesn't, or he's bringing like 1 or 2 blunts and we're bringing like nothing less than a 50 out, because like I'm not bringing all my weed out anyways. I was too much of a real smoker for that shit anyhow. But I know I'm kind of rambling. Just, you know, keep up with me. That's probably one of the downsides of smoking weed too. Like, you tend to forget shit. Like, I would be in mid conversation and be like, wait a minute. And I know that happens normally with people, but I think it happens more like the more you smoke, the more you really are kind of forgetful. And I can never like remember what it is I want to talk about. You know, it might come back to me later on, but honestly, 9 times out of 10, it never even came back to me. I might even try to bring it up like, do you remember what we was trying to talk about? And it just won't. It just won't. So I need to rebuild my brain cells and maybe rebuild my tolerance, and God knows if I'm going to go back to it or not, because I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't love to smoke. I really love to smoke. But I felt like the universe was calling for me to do something else and to like respect myself, my mind, body, and soul a lot more better, and to stop putting this shit inside my body, because unlike just the weed, I was addicted to the rollies too. Like, so, you know, I have to really let that go. And I think that if I do go back to it, I'm probably going to try to stay from like the harsh rollies, like the Fontos and shit like that, and maybe go more natural based plant. And really respect it, and not sit here and be smoking all fucking day, because it's just not productive. It's really not. And you don't really see it until you're out of the picture, because it's hard to kind of admit that weed makes you a little lazy, but it's true. It does make you lazy, but if you respect it enough, it's not like you can't do it. Like, if you're the type of person that can smoke at night or whatever, then, you know, do that. But I'm not gonna lie, I miss it. I do miss the company that it would give me, but this is also teaching me that my willpower is way stronger than a blunt can ever make me. And I'm proud of myself. And if people can't like understand that, and they're just like, oh, why don't you smoke weed no more? Then it's just like, you just can't respect people, because like everybody goes through their own things, and everybody has their own moments of like stopping or quitting or whatever it is that they're doing. And so this is just my little story. This is just my little week story, you know. So like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else you would like to hear of me. If you have any questions, if there's anything you would like to know about me, by all means. Or if there's like a topic that you would like to hear about, I have no problem. I'm trying to be a lot more open, even though I'm not as open as I may seem. That's just the Leo in me. So till next time, bye, love ya.